Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, angelic astrologer and spiritual consultant, here with your monthly angel card reading for March 2015. So this is going to be a very powerful energy, a very powerful month, astrologically and universally speaking. We have some highlights to cover for this particular month, and then we're going to be using Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot card deck, and also for your special message card, Doreen Virtue's Magical Mermaids and Dolphins deck. So as we start out the month, and I'm not going to go through all of the details of the entire month, but I'm going to definitely talk about here the highlights, astrologically speaking. If you want to read more details, more in depth of kind of the almost day by day kind of unfolding of the energies, please go on to angelmessenger.net and read my monthly angelic astrology article for March 2015. So to start out, we want to look at the numerology vibration of the month of March. Okay, so just to review, 2015 is an 8 universal year. So this is a year of empowerment, to step into your power, to step into your truth. This particular month of March is a master number energy. It's actually master number 11 vibration, which if we reduce that down is a 2. So we often in numerology will say it's an 11/2 month. But I want to look at that master number energy because it's hugely important. The number 11 is about light worker energy. It's about stepping into your role as a light worker and helping in some way, shape, or form to guide, counsel, teach, or assist others on the planet. Now, it can be such a variety of things that you do as a light worker, as long as you have the best interests of others at heart. You know, that you're here to in some way enlighten or help or advise or transform people's lives. That's all that master number 11 energy is about. If you think about the 11, it's made up of the number 1 twice. And what is the number 1 about? It's about the individual. It's about the self. It's about independence. It's about courage. It's about standing on your own 2 feet. It's about taking charge. It's about using your leadership abilities. And here we have it twice in the form of the number 11 as far as the vibration for the month. Now, because it reduces down to a 2, because 1 plus 1 within the 11 equals a 2 vibration, we also want to take into account the other person or people in our lives. Okay, so it's about balancing what our needs and desires are and taking charge and taking action and making things happen with that number 1, but it's about balancing that with considering other people, caring for other people, balancing our needs with the other people in our lives. And speaking of balance, this is also about the balance of the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies. The number 1 is a divine masculine energy. Again, it's about taking charge and making things happen. It's action oriented. Whereas the number 2 it's receptive, it's allowing, it's a feminine vibration. So it's about allowing divine timing and the unfolding of your plan or the divine plan in divine timing. It's about listening to your intuition. It's about balancing your sensitivities and balancing your mental and emotional aspects. So this, again, is a very powerful energy. The number 11, again, going back to that, is the visionary. You know, it's about holding a vision of who you are, what your path is about, where you want to go, how you want it to unfold, and really going after it, balancing that action with the allowing, the messages, the intuitive guidance of spirit to get you there. So March, again, is hugely transformative, and that's because we have the 7th Uranus-Pluto square, the last Uranus-Pluto square happening this month. Now, just as I mentioned in the Angelic Astrology article for the month of March, Uranus and Pluto will still be kind of dancing together and coming close together, being within orb of each other is what we call it, through 2018. But this is the last exact square aspect of the Uranus and Pluto that we're going to have. This is when they come together at the exact degree, squaring each other for the last time. Now, again, for a while, they're going to continue to affect us, and that's going to be because what we're initiating now, or what we're transforming into now, it's going to take some time to allow that to kind of grow and expand and redirect ourselves in the best way possible. So, looking at some of the highlights for the month astrologically, on the 4th of March, the planet Venus, which rules relationships, partnerships, it rules finances and money, is going to be setting off that Uranus-Pluto square. So be sure that there's going to be changes, redirections, maybe some surprises or something unexpected occurring in the realm of relationships as well as finances. Then we come up to the 5th of March, we have a full moon in Virgo, so that's going to heighten the energy of that Venus setting off the Uranus-Pluto square the day before. And again, fast forwarding to just cover the highlights, on the 14th of March, Saturn, that planet that is the great teacher, or some people call the Lord of Karma because Saturn rules lessons and karma, is going to go to retrograde motion, into retrograde motion on the 14th. And it will be retrograde for a while. It's actually going to retrograde back into Scorpio for a time later during the summertime. But I feel like Saturn in Sagittarius, from what I've seen so far, is really bringing blessings into our life. Saturn is a manifester. It's about shape and form and bringing things into solid manifestation. And if we've been true to ourselves and authentic within our lives and truly following our passion and living our truth, Saturn has been bringing us blessings while it's been in Sagittarius. Now, if you're not standing in your truth and you're not following your true divine path, then Saturn in Sagittarius is probably bringing you lessons to show you that you're not in your truth. It's giving you some direct messages, so to speak, to think about redirecting your lives into a place where you are being authentic and living your truth out of your authentic nature. So on the 16th of March, this is when the Uranus-Pluto square becomes exact. Now again, through the month of February, we felt it building up. We've been feeling maybe a lot more anxious and a lot more excited and a lot more power building up. There's all kinds of things happening right now within us, but it comes to a head on the 16th, and it doesn't mean that after the 16th of March it goes away, because it's going to take some time to actually have these two planets move apart. These are very slow-moving planets, so we're going to feel it for a while, through the rest of March for sure, and even into April for sure. Let's see, we come to the 20th of March, and the next big highlighted thing is that we're going to have a new moon solar eclipse. Now, whenever we have solar or lunar eclipses, it heightens the energy of the full or new moon. So here it is, we have a new moon, which is about new beginnings. It's in the last degree of Pisces, which is signifying some sort of endings occurring. So we have endings and new beginnings all together within this new moon. Plus it's a solar eclipse, which is really going to make it power-packed. And it's going to really kind of push us forward, especially because on the same day the sun moves into Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's a fire sign. It's the sign that signifies the beginning of the new astrological year. It's about passion, it's about action, it's about confidence. And so that solar eclipse on the 20th is going to be quite powerful. Now, we're going to follow that up in a couple of weeks with the full moon lunar eclipse, but that's going to actually be in the month of April, so we won't necessarily mention it here right now. But those are the big highlights. Of course, there's a lot of other things happening. The other thing I'll mention really briefly is when the moon sets off this Uranus-Pluto square throughout the month, because the moon is a fast-moving planet. It's actually not a planet, but a light. But the moon moves through each sign of the zodiac, it moves through a sign of the zodiac every 2.5 days. So it'll be in Aries 2.5 days, and then go into Taurus for 2.5 days, etc., etc. Now, the days that the moon will set off that Uranus-Pluto square, which means that you'll see perhaps energies of transformation and redirection even stronger at that time, will be March 8th while the moon is in Libra, so perhaps affecting relationship matters. The 15th of March, the moon will be in Capricorn, setting off that Uranus-Pluto square, so probably more related to practical matters or business matters or career matters. On the 21st, the moon will be in Aries, setting off that Uranus-Pluto square. And that's going to be a powerful time too, because the moon in Aries will also be conjuncting Mars in Aries, which that's also the day after that new moon solar eclipse. So that's going to be a huge one, affecting matters of our independence, our forward movement, our leadership ability, and matters dealing with our sense of individuality. And then on the 27th of March, the moon will be in Cancer, setting off that Uranus-Pluto square, and that will be much more on the emotional feeling realm, perhaps dealing with matters of home and family, or dealing with things of more, like I said, of an emotional nature. Okay, so let's get into the reading for the month of March. As I was meditating on this month and shuffling the cards, I actually had 2 cards fall out of the deck. And sometimes I have that happen, and most oftentimes when that does happen, it means that they are special message cards. Now, usually I only have 1 card that does that, but in this case there was 2 cards, and I did ask Spirit, my guides and angels, if both of those cards were in fact special message cards. And considering the power of this month, the transformation energies that are active this month, they did tell me that both of these cards were special message cards for everyone to be looked at. So right now we're going to take the rest of the Angel Tarot deck here. We're going to give it a little bit of a shuffle to pick the other 3 cards for the month's reading. And I don't think I showed you the stones as far as for your stones of choice for your extra special message cards, so let's do that really quick. We have selenite, and all 3 of these stones I chose because of their special qualities and powerful nature. But selenite is good for getting in touch with future as well as past life energies. It helps us to get in touch with the angelic realm. It really heightens our ability to channel forth divine information and fine-tunes our psychic abilities, our clairvoyance, and all of the clairs. And that's your first stone of choice. The second stone of choice, this is a Lemurian seed crystal. And the Lemurian seed crystals, they're always clear quartz crystals, but this has an interesting quality about it, is that most crystals are fatter or wider on the bottom and come more to a more narrow point. This one is more narrow at the bottom, and kind of gets a little bit thicker or wider as we reach the top and the point here of the crystal. It also has inclusions on the side which are encoded information of a spiritual nature from other worldly brothers and sisters, our guides and the angels. So that's our second stone of choice. And then the third stone of choice is this ametrine. And the ametrine is, of course, a combination of amethyst as well as citrine. The amethyst being a crown chakra stone, opening us up to, again, higher divine guidance, the ability to channel forth information and messages. It's good for remembering our dreams. And the citrine, which is the golden yellow that is within the amethyst, which you may not be able to see in the video, but the golden yellow vibrates to our solar plexus chakra, which is our sense of personal power and standing in our confidence and in our truth. So this also is a very highly spiritual and powerful stone. So again, your stones of choice are the selenite, the Lemurian seed crystal, and the ametrine. Okay, so again, let's pick up our deck, and we're going to call in our angels, guides, master guides, healers and teachers of the highest vibration of light, asking for all of the archangels and the ascended masters to come in to provide us with whatever messages, wisdom, and knowledge is in everyone's highest and best interest to know for the month of March. Okay, so just kind of looking for those cards that seem to kind of pop out to me or call to me as I'm shuffling. This one is actually calling my attention, so we'll pull that for the third card. I'm going to put this aside and let's look and see what the month of March holds for us. Okay, we start out with the Three of Air. And the Three of Air says, great sadness, take time to heal the need to forgive yourself or others. Now, the air cards or the air suit are always about the intellect or the mind, usually the ego mind, which has doubts and fears and anxieties about it that are really an illusion and not really part of our reality. And whenever I see this card, I always feel like we're dealing with old family patterns. It could actually be family patterns and issues, challenges from this life, from when we were growing up in the home and family that we grew up in, and we kind of took on certain mindsets or belief systems, thought forms that maybe weren't in our highest and best interest, but we learned it from our family of origin. And this can also be, though, I feel, family patterns or past life patterns that we've brought with us from previous times. Usually they're emulated, though, in our family of origin. But I feel like here we're dealing with some of those old belief systems, some of those old thought forms that need to be healed yet. And this is saying that at the very least, the first part of the month, if not the whole entire month, we're needing still to heal from that. We're needing to let go and forgive ourselves and forgive others. Release any self-critical tendencies, release any judgments. Let go of all of those lower vibrational emotions, feelings, thought forms, and beliefs. And really just come into a place of healing, letting go. And actually they're showing the pulling of the cords. They're talking about asking Archangel Michael to come in and pull the cords between you and all of these energies. A little phrase that I like to use when I'm meditating in regards to this is I ask Archangel Michael to come in and to pull all cords between me, people, circumstances, situations, old karmic energies, belief systems, patterns, emotions, feelings, and thought forms that are no longer in my highest and best interest. Now you can, change that and phrase it in whatever way is comfortable for you. But again, I feel like we're still letting go of some old energies and healing old patterns that are no longer in our highest and best interest to hold on to. Let's get more information by looking at the second card. Okay, the second card is the Eight of Earth. And the Eight of Earth says, skilled work is rewarded, learning all there is to know about a topic and going back to school. Now, I feel like we're all students of life. We're always learning, growing, evolving, expanding on a spiritual level. And that could definitely be part of that this month of March, we're in a spiritual growth evolution cycle, that's more significant than maybe at some other times, just because of the planetary energies. But I also feel like this is more on a practical level as well, because this is an Earth card. And the Earth cards deal with things that are more tangible and practical. So this may be that in this month of March we actually do need to do some sort of research, learning something new, taking a class or a workshop, an online course, getting with somebody that can maybe teach us or educate us in areas that we are not as familiar with. So I feel like we're going to be learning things this month. We're going to be learning things about ourselves. We're going to be learning things that will further our career paths or our life paths in the most beneficial way. And it's also saying that if you put forth the effort and then if you stand in your power, that effort and that work is going to be rewarded. You're going to have prosperity and abundance starting to come in through those efforts. Okay, and then the last card here, this is the Eight of Water. So we have another 8 card, and I find that interesting too. The Eight of Water says a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual, and emotional growth. Okay, so now we have water, and the water is about our feelings, our emotional nature. And again, that number 8 that we had with the 8 of Earth, and now we have here with the 8 of Water, is about empowerment. This is truly going to be a month of stepping into and owning your power. This is empowerment on the emotional feeling level with the 8 of Water, and empowerment on the practical level within, like I said, career or projects or things you're working on, developing as far as the furthering of your life path journey with the Eight of Earth. This also is suggesting that you're ready to break free of any illusion of being stuck or held back or trapped in any way. And again, it's just an illusion, that your feelings and emotions about yourself, about your life, about what you think you can accomplish, may be holding you back in some way. And this is, to me, is saying that it's time to look at where the benefits are. You know, the Eight of Water is usually symbolic in a sense that there's cups here that are either overturned or in the background, or, you know, that the person here can't see clearly. But here's 3 cups at least, maybe 4, that are really here out in the open. They're kind of shining brightly, they're more vibrant looking, and just because there's things from the past that didn't work out doesn't mean that there's not things in the future that will not work out, that there's definitely things to look forward to, and to, what do I want to say, to, again, step into your confidence and know that you can bring these things into manifestation, that you can bring about good feelings again. Again, no matter, the past is the past, just like the 3 of air that we started out with. The past is the past. You need to heal it and let go. And you need to look for the opportunities that the future has for you. You need to look towards stepping into your power and looking for something that brings you a sense of passion, that you feel good about, that you want to do, that you want to be connected to, something that, again, is more meaningful to you on your life's spiritual journey. Let's look at the special, or the extra cards, I guess I should say, that fell out of the deck while I was meditating earlier. This one first. This one says release. This is a major arcana card, so I was wondering if we were going to see any major arcana cards in this reading, because it is such a powerful month, and here it is. Major arcana number 13, Archangel Azrael, and it says at the bottom, the end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, and time to move on. And that's kind of what we've been talking about through looking at the other 3 cards so far, is that it's time to move on from any things from the past or situations from the past that you no longer need to hang on to. It's time to empower yourself and move forward. This is going to be a month of transformation. And in the traditional tarot deck, this number 13 major arcana card is usually the death card, signifying death and rebirth. Not necessarily physical or actual death, but signifying death of the old way, so that there can be a rebirth to a new way, a more enlightened way, a way that is more in alignment with your truth and who you really are and where you're supposed to be going in life. So again, this is about releasing the past, you know, letting things go and stepping forward confidently into the future. There's going to be a lot of transformation energies to go through. So this is like a snake shedding its skin. You're going to be going through an internal transformation from the inside out. First, the transformation happens within you, and then it can kind of transform on the outside of you, or, you know, without, coming out into the world to transform your environment and the circumstances around you. Okay, and let's look at what that second message card, or the second other card that fell out of the deck is. Okay, we have another major arcana card. And this is Major Arcana 15, and this is entitled Ego with Archangel Jophiel. It says a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, and negative or fear-based thoughts. And isn't that funny that, again, it says a false sense of entrapment. We were just talking about that it's an illusion that you're feeling held back, restricted, limited, stuck, or trapped in a sense. In this imagery, we have a person with a mask on. So it's like, you know, they're wearing a mask. They can't see anything around them. So they're kind of keeping themselves, in a sense, in the dark. All that person has to do, because their hands, I don't believe, are bound as I look at this card, all they have to do is reach up and take that mask off so that things become clear, so that they can clear the cobwebs of illusion that's around them. This usually, again, just like it says ego at the top of the card, signifies the negative ego mind and having doubts, fears, anxieties, judgments, criticisms against ourselves or towards our life. And this is about releasing those. A strong sense of releasing these energies to be able to move on. It's also indicating and suggesting that we shouldn't be overly focused on, again, it says the material aspects of life. So it's not about how much money you make, how much power you have, how much status you gain. This is about being in your truth, doing what you love to do, being passionate about your life. This is about feeling good about who you are and where you're going. And if you focus on that and you focus on the guidance from universe, God and the angels, then all the rest, doesn't matter, and all this abundance and prosperity of your life will unfold in a very easy, natural, and beautiful way. Again, the material aspects of life are just an illusion. When we transition from this life, we don't take those things with us. We want to take happiness and joy and fulfillment and contentment with us. And those are the things that you should be focused on for this month of March, but I want to say forever. That's what you should be focused on. Okay, so let's see what your extra special message card is depending on your stone of choice. So we'll again give this deck a shuffle. And again, asking all of the angels and archangels, ascended masters and guides to come in, providing us with a special message that each individual needs to hear. So for those of you that chose the selenite, this one's sticking out for selenite, time to move on. So again, that message keeps coming up. It's time to move on. It's time to transform. It's time to transition. It says time to let go of the old and worn out so that the new can come in. So you're really on the verge of a lot of change and redirection and transformation in your lives, both within your spirit, your energy body, your energy field, your career circumstances, your family circumstances, perhaps relationship circumstances. Your destiny path is ready to unfold before you. And all you have to do is be open to receiving it. So this is really saying to let the past go, whether it's actual situations, circumstances, or people, or whether it's just patterns or belief systems or thoughts that you have that are holding you back. It's time to move on from those and move forward. Okay, and then for those of you that chose the Lemurian seed crystal, okay, this one is popping out. So the Lemurian seed crystal, people, it says make a decision. Feeling stuck or indecisive? Listen to your intuition and make a decision. So maybe you've been feeling, again, that trapped, limited, stuck feeling. This is saying that you're the one that has the power to decide to move forward or to stay where you're at. Maybe you're in a relationship or a job or, in a situation to where you don't feel any growth, you don't feel any fulfillment, you don't feel happy. And sometimes we stay in those situations or circumstances because it's more familiar and because we're maybe anxious or afraid of the unknown. But this is saying that it's time to kind of make that decision, to listen to your inner heart, listen to your inner guidance. Your soul is speaking to you. Your soul is asking that you listen to that inner guidance from your higher soul self, and that you make the decision to become unstuck, that you make the decision that's going to be in your highest and best interest. And it will even be in the highest and best interest of those around you, because if you're happy and fulfilled, if you're content, then everybody else's lives are going to be in a much better spot too. I mean, even if you're having to let go of a relationship situation, that person is stagnant if you're stagnant. And maybe they need to move on with their evolution and growth, just as you need to move on with yours. But whatever the situation, allow yourself to make that most appropriate decision for yourself. Okay, and for those of you that chose the ametrine, okay, this one here, ametrine people, it says, let yourself receive. Allow others to give you loving care and receive without guilt or apologies. So I feel like they're showing me the number 11, that vibration of the month of March here, that vibrates down to a 2, the 11/2 vibration. This is about the receptive energy, the divine feminine energy, opening yourself up to allow others to help you, nurture you, give to you, allowing the universe and God to give you blessings of abundance and prosperity in the form of support, maybe in the form of money, but in the form definitely of blessings. If you're not open, if you don't have an open heart chakra to receive, then you're blocking yourself from all the goodness that can come to you. So work on this month allowing yourself to accept gifts, compliments, assistance, guidance, from other people, from your guides and angels. Focus on opening that heart chakra, because that's where the divine feminine is going to be, is in the heart chakra. And as you open that heart chakra to unconditional love of self and to others on the planet or others around you, then you're opening up to receive those blessings and gifts that the universe is trying to give you. So I hope you've liked this monthly angelic astrology reading or angel card reading. Again, make sure to watch the weekly angel card readings. Make sure to go onto Angel Messenger and read the Angelic Astrology article for the month of March. I mentioned this in the weekly astrology reading, that there's going to be some changes coming up and some surprises that I have in store that will be mentioned very soon, and I'm very excited to bring that forth when the time is right, which is going to be very soon as we move into that month of March and all that transformational energy. But I want to thank you all for your support, your comments, your kindness, your love. I feel it, and I'm very grateful and thankful for all of you for sharing your energy with me, because that assists me and that helps me to grow as well. So I send you all a lot of love and light and many, many angel blessings.